Let's welcome our next fighter making his way to the cage, Jose Red Devil Jovel.
Next up at 170 pounds, we have Jose Red Devil Jovel. The 31-year-old stands 5 feet 10 inches tall with Dream Killer MMA. An independent fight team really building their profile over the last few months. He has one fight to his record so far, a round 2 submission loss to Roberto Moreno back in July. But you got to expect that we're going to see something different from this really talented fighter this time around, especially a big step up in that cardio.
And that's the cardio is going to be if you can keep a high pace in these 2-minute rounds, you're going to win. And obviously that translates to longer fights as well. But cardio is always going to be your friend. Once the cardio starts going down, opportunities open up for your opponent.
Jose's Twitter account is pretty much just exclusively a string of Nike check-ins of him running 5 miles with the training mask. You see that a lot later. What's the benefit of that cardio training mask, the breath mask?
Well, the benefit of it, you get less oxygen in your blood, so you're up in your lactic acid buildup, so your body has to work harder. And it teaches you, because when you do these MMA fights, the reason why guys are tired and their arms get heavy is because of the heavy lactic acid buildup. So it kind of imitates that training, gets the lungs used to it, and kind of mimics it. I've heard mixed reviews on it. I've used it before, but it definitely helps. It definitely helps because breathing is huge.
His opponent, Ian the Korean Park.
And big cheers rise up for Los Angeles native, here from Koreatown, Ian the Korean Park. It's been a year since we last saw Ian in the cage, a round 1 submission loss to House of Champions Dean Bo Moskowitz. He did look really impressive in that fight, though. He was mounted in a transition during that fight, and it was a much more competitive bout than a round 1 submission actually indicates.
No, he looked great, actually. You wouldn't believe that was his first fight. He looked amazing, and it's been a while since that fight. So time to improve. He's had experience in the military, and he's had a lot of time to improve. You know, he took some time off after the loss and really focused, and he's got really good coaches. If you guys don't know anything about Kings MMA, they have probably one of the best striking coaches in the world, in Rafael Cordero. He is, bar none, one of the most creative strikers you're going to find, and that's what you want especially when you're learning MMA and learning striking. You want to learn from someone that knows their stuff, not some run-of-the-muck dude that's just teaching in a like McDojo.
Now, while his camo record is only one loss with no victories, he does have one win outside of camo, which is a 14-second KO in that first fight.
That's impressive.
And before the Dean Bo Moskowitz fight that he lost by submission, he actually got a cut on his eyebrow 3 days before that had stitches on. He pulled the stitches out and glued his eyes shut in order to fight in his last one here against Dean Bo Moskowitz. And he says that part of the problem in that grappling exchange was he was so nervous about getting that cut opened up that he was rushing himself, and that's part of why he got caught.
So he hindered himself by taking out his stitches. You got to realize when you take out your stitches that, you know, if you're going to still fight, you just got to mentally be prepared that I'm going to get bloody.
Well, no stitches and no worries tonight. Ian Park, ready, willing, and able with that old shoot-to-box mentality to kill or die. That's what they preach at Kings MMA. But to get this thing started, let's head inside the cage with Salvador Arellano.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. This is our co-main event of the evening, brought to you by Grudge Match in theaters Christmas Day. Scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds in the 170-pound division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a Red Devil mixed martial artist. He steps into the cage with no wins and 1 loss. Stands at 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighing at 172.6 pounds. Representing Dream Killer Fight Team from Los Angeles, California, Jose Red Devil Jovel. And his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, a shoot-style practitioner. He steps into the cage with a record of 1 win, 1 loss, standing at 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighing officially at 166 pounds, fighting with Kings MMA from Koreatown, Los Angeles, California, Ian the Korean Park. Man in charge of the action, Larry Landless.
Here we are for our co-main event of the evening. 3 2-minute rounds in the welterweight division between Ian, the Korean Park, in the black trunks, and Jose Jovel in the gray trunks. It starts here. And a quick start from Ian. And no! A big right hand! Ian is out! Wow. Jose Jovel just tagged him, starched in the opening seconds of round number 1.
Wow, what a knockout. He is still out.
That might be the single fastest and strongest knockout we've seen here at the U of MMA.
Yeah, wow, I'm kind of speechless, and that's not what I get paid for, but yeah,
Ian Park being tended to by his coaches and the doctor. Jose Jovel obviously amped up, hyped from that quick knockout. You know, Ian came out quickly with that low left kick and then the right straight, but the right hand of Jose Jovel just found its mark and put him to sleep.
Amazing. And you know, the referee walked in front of me like as it was happening, and I missed part of it.
Aw, that's so unfortunate, because it was amazing. It was a fantastic knockout. We talked earlier with Jose Jovel in the pre-fight interviews. He said that he's been striking Muay Thai for 2 years, and he told us to watch out for the right hand.
I get it. I missed it. Okay, well, I'm sure they'll show me a replay, and then I'll be okay again. I saw him fall, and I saw him do the strike, but it was like, I don't know. It's what I get. It's what I get from for talking trash about these referees sometimes.
You know, Jose said that the first time in his loss, it was an issue of nerves. No issue with nerves tonight. Calm, confident, and 1 punch was all it took. That fight might have been over within 4 or 5 seconds.
Maybe 6. Maybe 6. That was impressive.
Well, Dream Killer MMA is on the map thanks to Jose Jovel, the Red Devil.
He for sure definitely lived up to the name of his camp by killing someone's dream. And the dream was to win this MMA bout.
You know, really unfortunate to see so little from Ian Park. Sometimes you just get caught.
Like to
Ian
remind
Park's
all of our
such a
fans
talented
in the
fighter,
stands
a
that we will
wide
be
array
having
of
an
skill
after party
sets
at the club
and
at
abilities,
Nokia
really
VIP
aggressive, likes to
room
come
on the
forward and
4th
kick,
floor.
and it might have been that aggression that was his downfall tonight.
It looked that way, but it's really hard to tell when the fight only lasts 6 or 7 seconds.
Well, that is the danger of leading with those low kicks, a tendency to try to solidify yourself on the kick and your hands come down a bit.
Yeah, you essentially lock yourself in one place on one foot, like making a perfect target. But you know, that's what the game is all about. Like, knock out or be knocked out. Or win by submission or decision in other ways.
Ian is up on his chair. He's still a little confused about what happened. You know, sometimes those knockouts come in so quick, you're not even sure what the heck, what could have happened, what could have occurred.
Yeah, there's always becomes a series of questions. It happens every time, even though you know as a fighter, so you always, either when you get choked out or knocked out, there's always the series of questions where, what happened? Wait, what? Where, like, they don't know.
Well, the independent fight team of Dream Killer MMA also on that team, former U fighter DeMar George, who we might see again in the future, really showing right out the gate that they have the stuff to be put on the map. I don't think they'll be a small independent club for that much longer if they keep fighting like this.
I don't think so.
Good to see Ian Park back on his feet. He's saying right now, I'm ready to go. He still wants that fight, and that's the tough part. You get so prepared, and really it's just, boop, the button gets hit, the fight's over. Not even really a chance to see what your skills are at.
If I was in charge, I'd probably let them fight again, but we all know my position in this company in the sport of MMA, and then I'm not in charge. And
it's probably a great idea that you're not in charge.
Safety? What safety? Entertainment, please. Jeez.
If Andrew the Squid Montes was in charge, we would have 5-way fights. It would be a rumble every single time. The Sharks and the Jets.
Surprisingly, I'm in charge of a lot of stuff, and I always look at myself like, really? They let me be in charge? It happens.
Well, it's all done, but let's hear the official decision from Salvador Arellano.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the punishment ends 5 seconds into the first round. Your winner by way of knockout, Jose Red Devil Jovel.
Let's give it up for him. Jose, come talk to me. Congratulations. You have just achieved the fastest knockout in the U of MMA history. How you feeling?
I feel amazing. To my family, thank you for supporting me. This is from my daughter, Jassy Boo, Dream Killer Fight Team. We're here, baby. We're here. And baby, I love you. Thank you for the support.
Okay, there's not a lot to talk about, but what can we expect from you in the future?
I'm gonna try to beat this knockout.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so like 3 seconds, because that was 5.
Maybe 3.
Okay, 3 seconds. Look for it. Give it up for him, Jose Jovel!
Your winner by explosive round 1 knockout, Jose Jovel.